Some of you are just like me when it comes to Deadlock. You have been playing fighting games basically all your life, playing Soul Calibur as a kid, or up to 1,000 hours of Tekken or Street Fighter growing up. Then finally, you got your own PC to play all the modern fighting games you want and all the Discord fighters you enjoy playing. Fighting games started to get a bit dry with the genres that you like. For example, anime fighters are very dry, and Guilty Gear we're still waiting for 2.0 with the Arc Sys announcement. Then, something showed up and ate up all your free time. Deadlock. Hey fellas, Panda here, and I just wanted to take a look to see why so many FGC members have been eaten up by the game known as Deadlock, because there's been so many on my friends list, Twitter, you name it, even Sajam, just people being all like, Deadlock has consumed us. I think it's a simple matter, but there's a lot of things to consider. If players like fun characters to play, they play Marvel Rivals or Overwatch. Even though these games have their own issues, they still offer fun characters to play, so why Deadlock for the majority of the FGC? I want to get started by talking about the gameplay and its many interesting mechanics that can pull fighting game players in. And then after breaking down every mechanic, so I'm going to talk about Deadlock for a majority, kind of like the first half, and then the last half is going to be comparing all those individual mechanics to fighting games and why it's sucked in fighting game players. For anyone that doesn't know, Deadlock is a MOBA shooter. Probably the first of its kind. It's super fast paced, relying on the player to adjust to any situation to make the fight. The movement is insanely fun when you get it down. This is me playing Abrams, who doesn't have the best movement, and you see some tricks I'm pulling off to get out of a bad place to get to my team, using wall jumps, air dashes, hops, slides, ledging. You can see how addictive it can be linking this all together to move around. It takes a bit of execution to get down and rewards creativity. This reminds me of the moments in fighting games where you use tight movement to move in and out of attacks. We do footsies, but in Deadlock they do schmoosies. Weaving in and out of combat, looking to pick or maybe get a reset can be satisfying to the highest degree. One mechanic that I know fighting game players are going to love is the skill. You need to view these as your special moves and your super. Placing them well enough can get you kills, escape, farm and support. It can be extremely fun using your skills in tandem in a 1v1. Using a tackle to get a melee and then chasing with Siphon Life is a fun combo I like doing with Abrams. One of my favourite combos is doing ultimate, melee, tackle, melee, then headshot. All the skills pair well with each other, and then you can upgrade them, making for different playstyles for every character. This way you can spec into whatever skill you want. When playing Abrams, if you want to go melee, then you need your tackle immediately, focus that. If you want to run Spirit, then you're absolutely going to need Siphon Life and your ultimate to be the highest degree. You want to run gun, you want to focus on your passive healing, Siphon and tackle and make it overall solid so that way you can deal damage with your gun. You want to become tank, aka Green Abrams, you want to focus Siphon Life and healing. You can create many different playstyles with this alone, never mind builds that enhance them. The main thing I've been holding back on is the melee system though. You can tap melee or do charge melees. Great for getting in and hitting the opponent. Is what I would say if parries didn't exist. When doing a melee, you can be parried and this stuns for 5 seconds, leaving you open for an easy kill in some scenarios. However, whiffing a parry puts it in cooldown for 5 seconds, giving you an opening to get charge melees in. You can bait parries by doing what I like to call the walk forward shimmy. Like baiting throws in Street Fighter, but in this case we walk forward instead of walking back. We pepper in some tap melees, but we play patient, getting in the opponent's face. Then eventually we get rewarded. You can also bait parry by doing this. It's nice for getting into the heads of your enemy, and sometimes you can get into intense melee battles with someone else running melee. Getting the parry or baiting it is the difference between winning and losing a melee fight. It's so intricate and there's so many layers you've got to think about. Like, why is he walking up to me? Should I press parry? Maybe he's baiting me. Maybe I should melee him. Or is he going to press parry? Is he doing a charge? Is that going to hit me? Or is he going to miss? There's so many layers. So many. Lastly, the characters are super unique. They all have their own personality and reasons for playing them. You want melee kings that are used to thugging out? Try Abrams or Billy. You want stealth characters that can pick solo targets? Try Drifter and Haze. You like being super fast, damaging, but super squishy? Try out Mina, who has escape tools and nukes for damage. Do you like shooting enemies from a range? Try out Grey Talon who uses projectiles, or Vindicta who uses hit skip. Do you like playing characters who can play all around? being spirit or gun or just a tool for every scenario, try out Warden, Wraith or Paradox. Lastly, do you like playing the big tanks that can ruin people's day and fun? Try out Bebop, Dynamo or Mo and Krill. These characters genuinely ruin my day if I'm going against them. With all of these points made when it comes to the gameplay, the characters, you can now draw comparisons. The movement is very execution based and it takes an understanding of the game to understand using the movement. Easily applicable to anime fighters and 3D fighters, learning how to link movement or do instant air dashes is satisfying in a game like Tekken and Guilty Gear. Now imagine applying that to a MOBA hero shooter. It's mad fun learning the map and using these tools like mentioned before. A fighting game fan can easily get engaged with this. Then you get character specific movement, things like Celeste bunny hopping, Shev's shotgun, and you can view this as learning movement based characters like Chip or Melia, again, easily engaging anyone. Special moves are satisfying for any character you play in a fighting game. Playing characters can simply come down to using their tools feel amazing. This can be related to Deadlock by looking at Apollo, who's the greatest example of this. He has a just frame tool that takes a bit of skill to place and get down. Getting it down does more damage and heals you, allowing you to stay in the fight. He also has a parry for any tool, making him a character that keeps rewarding timing and tight uses of his special. This reminds me of Geese Howard, a parry character that is a solid bruiser that takes a bit of skill to play. Combine that with the fact that you have a parry for any attack helps make the resemblance even more. The weight of specials and skills fill the game with the feeling of wow, these are insanely fun to use, and a lot of fighting game players can look at that and think to themselves, yeah, the special moves are great in a game like Deadlock because it really enhances my character. It makes me feel like I'm playing a fun character. Like, there isn't a skill in the game that doesn't feel good to use. Even Rem doing Sinners feels satisfying. That feels great. Now, the parry and melee system is a dead giveaway to why fighting game fans would enjoy Deadlock. Going in for hits can be viewed as your normals or doing normal throws, where with walking forward we can try and bait parry. In Street Fighter, we do normal throws and we walk back to bait a throw tech. Shimmy is basically the same, but instead of walking back, we walk forward. Baiting parry can be as hype as baiting a throw tech because the rewards you get for such a skill-based decision is just as high in Deadlock. Street Fighter gives you a counter hit combo, and Deadlock gives you a free beatdown for 5 seconds. Honestly, both are fantastic to get in a match scenario. The parry system becomes even more like Street Fighter when you buy Counterspell. It lets you parry any attack that uses abilities. You can counter game-winning ultimates or something as simple as Abram's Siphon Life, giving that feel of Daigo parry. But don't do that! It goes on cooldown. Saving it for last shot completely changes the scenario. This rewards fantastic defense, and for fighting game players that are used to high level, they can really relate with this because when you get down defense in a fighting game, you feel unstoppable. Getting down counterspell gives you that same feeling in a 1v1 or even a 2v1 in some scenarios. Finally, the characters. Why did I break them down? Because like a fighting game, your character's visuals and playstyle pull you into playing them. I'm a grappler player who loves playing the bigger bodies. I fell in love with Abrams and Bebop when I first tried the game. Being an unmovable fortress that wants to run it down or hooking people to put them through hell, I find this insanely fun to the playstyle that I enjoy. Same with the Venar being a high damage character that just pulls me in because he's slow and hits like a truck. Reminds me of when I wanted to play Slayer for the same-ish reason. Honestly, if you love an archetype, you will find the main character in this game. The characters are also so well designed in terms of visuals. Like, if you can't find a character, I really recommend you mess about with them. You will love the characters, I promise this to you. Of course, there's one thing fighting game players can't stand, and I totally agree. Teammates. You can be put with the most bottiest of bots that will throw your game, racist, and all sorts. And this is enhanced if you live in Europe because most Russians are not that sound in this game. As well as with these games, you've just gotta accept that. And 9 times out of 10, if something bad happens or just general horrible people do horrible people things, report them. That's the best that you can do in those scenarios. Why did I feel the need to talk about this? Well, as someone who's been loving Deadlock and seeing so many FGC members get involved into it as well, I want to give it a talk and have a bit of fun with the two game genres, game and genre, that I really enjoy. If you guys enjoy, be sure to like, sub, and hype, as it lets me know you guys enjoyed this, because it was great to cover a game that I'm really enjoying right now, and how I was able to relate it to fighting games. Because again, a ton of people are into this right now. It is kind of insane how many fighting game players I've seen that are just deadlocked. The amount of Guilty Gear pros that I know back in my day that are just playing Deadlock. The amount of people that I know that enjoy playing Street Fighter playing Deadlock right now. You know, it's insane. Backpack, please play Deadlock. So I want you guys to comment and tell me why you think people are playing Deadlock, and I want to hear who's your character of choice, who's your poison, who do you enjoy. Besides that, that'll be me signing out, and I've got to say this as I'm heading out. I'm also running a tournament called Strivelock, where basically it's run in team of 3, but you fight is a 1v1 with builds, right? So it makes sense, Strivelock. And I'm working on a new series. Yes, I'm working on a new series. I'll still do Grab Season 2 eventually. I just want to work on this other series, and I'm looking forward to it. I think you guys will enjoy it. And I'll give you a clue. It's not based on zoners. I mean, zoners could be in it, but it's not based on them. And that's going to be me, fellas. Peace out, and have a good day. See ya.